NC State.
Look at that picture
There
there.
he is. David Thompson, rocking the afro.
The Skywalker.
This is some of what he did back in the day. Look at David Thompson. And I tell you, Isaiah, don't get too close to me as I say this, dude. I don't want you to hit me. Some of David Thompson's biggest moments in his NBA career happened in the great city of Detroit.
Oh no. I think I was in college, or in high school.
No, you were in college.
Time.
College, yeah.
Yeah, and I think it was the All-Star game in Detroit, where you.
1979.
Yeah, what'd you get? 40?
Not quite 40, but had some spectacular plays.
Yeah.
And some nice dunks, and late in the game, kind of took over and we won the game.
Yeah.
So you ready for this on set here?
Didn't you and Gervin go at it that game?
Yeah, Gervin, I think he had a little bit more points than I did. He and Dr. J scored in the high 20s, and but I hit the key baskets to win the game.
Right.
But also in Detroit, earlier in the following season, we had that scoring race.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the game where I went off. I had
73.
73 with no three-pointers, which was a lot of points that time, and had 53 at halftime on 20 or 23 shots.
Right. And what happened?
What does that feel like? Can I just hold on? Can we bring this back? We just talked about 53 points at halftime like it was nothing. What does that feel like? Like, they talk about in a zone where you just like.
Exactly.
I mean,
everything I threw up was going in. I was getting and ones, going to the basket, getting alley oops, pull up jumpers, quick first step, and Gervin and I was going for the scoring title.
Right.
I was 15 points behind him, and I scored 73 points, and I thought I was going to win the title, but Gervin came back that night and scored 63.
So I remember you told a story. You said you landed in Denver.
Yeah.
And you turned on the radio, and what was happening?
Well, I knew Gervin needed a lot of points. He needed 58 points to win the scoring title.
58. So you thought you had it locked
up?
up.
I thought I had for sure. I go to Denver, I get my car going back home, and I said, well, maybe I should check on the game. I know he's not going to get that many, but maybe I'll check on it because Gervin's a great scorer.
Right.
I turned on the radio, and it was halftime, and he had 53 already.
So let me ask you this.
So I just turned it off. And
if you had known he was going to get
fire.
If you knew he was going to get 63, how many more do you think you could have gotten in that game?
Probably. I'm not sure. I could have gotten more, but we were trying to win the game. It became close, and at the end of the game, we were trying to win, so I didn't really force anything. Yeah, no problem.
So wait a minute,
no problem.
I need were there heat checks during this time? Because listen, I'm not shooting 20 of 23. I'm gonna just tell you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to come down and have at least a little bit of a heat check. I'm at 20 and 25.
Right.
I think I would have.
Yeah, I put up a few.
Okay.
But, they're all going in, so I kept shooting. Teammates kept giving it to me, so I kept shooting.
I love it.
So you had 73, but y'all was trying to win the game.
Right.
So you went. So in other words, you weren't selfish at all that game. All your 73 came in the flow of the game.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yep.
I know it doesn't sound like it did, but they were calling plays for me. I was just hot.
Right.
Actually, I was 20 for 21.
Oh, my bad.
28 for 38 for the game.
My bad.
I've seen you go off like that, too. So.
Never 73.
No.
25 and a quarter in the playoffs. Hobbling on one leg. I've seen that. So.
Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you get lucky.
I had to go up against him a few times in the All-Star game, so I know what he can do.
Yeah.
I want to put in perspective how cool this is to have the three of you with us here. Among the three of you, we've got 5 All-Star Game MVPs in 3 different leagues. Of course, the NBA. You won one both in the NBA and the ABA, and of course yours in the WNBA. So this is a pretty darn accomplished panel here. This is pretty cool to speak with all of you guys. And I mean, your memories. I know your All-Star games have been tough for you, right? Some injuries through some of them.
Yeah, but I think as a player, you grow up idolizing and dreaming of being a part of an All-Star game. And obviously, I had some injuries, and so I wasn't picked for an All-Star for the first couple years of my career. I missed the game. And then I remember I finally put on my All-Star jersey, and it had a whole different meaning.
And that was the first time you had played in the All-Star game, right?
That was the first time I had played in an All-Star game.
13.
And, in 2013. And it was an uphill battle with injuries. You know what I'm talking, knees and shoulders and everything. And so finally to get healthy and to be able to play in the All-Star game, I think it just changes how much it really means to you, because you realize, you go through a lot to get to that point.
And I think we all have that aha moment when you become an all-star. You feel good, but when you walk in the locker room and you see those 11 people there and you one of them,
Yep.
that definitely makes you feel like, oh wow, I arrived.
Exactly. Yeah, it was important when I came in the locker room to be around guys that I idolized when I was growing up. Guys like Dr. J, George Gervin. I saw those guys play. Actually, the ABA teams played at NC State, so when I was in college, I saw those guys play. Then playing against Kareem and just Bill Walton, all the great players in the game was very exciting. And just getting to socialize with those guys and get autographs from everybody and take pictures. It was a lot of fun.
Michael Jordan talks about, you and like we talk about Kareem or Dr. J or whatever. So in the state of Carolina, right, he actually chose you from North Carolina State to take him into the Hall of Fame. And we understand how powerful the Carolina family is.
Right.
But to have you come from NC State, take him into the Hall of Fame, talk about, the relationship that you and he have, and what did that moment mean to you when he selected you to take him in?
Well, that was one of the highlights of my career and my life, to impact somebody as great as Michael Jordan, and to have him want me to share his greatest moment with him and his family. So I was very excited. NC State fans were excited. I don't think some of the Carolina fans were too excited. But growing up in North Carolina, being one of the top guys to play in college here, and just being able to impact some of the guys that were behind me was really special.
What'd you think of the speech that Michael gave? I was going there, Candace. Come on.
I actually thought it was good. It came from his heart. He said how he feels. He's real competitive. So
Yeah.
And I think it's a window sometimes. Like when you look at the way that he spoke, that's why Michael was so good.
Absolutely.
Is because of the way that he looks at the game. I mean, think about players like a Kobe Bryant. You see, they talked about D. Wade and Kevin Garnett when he was talking about Kobe. Was like, yeah, it's good, hit me in the nose. Like, you see that you got to be a little crazy to be that great.
Yeah. Right. And not only do you have to be a little crazy, but there's a little insanity again that comes along with greatness. And when you was playing at NC State, jumping as high as you was jumping. And I remember, I think I was in high school, and I forget who y'all was playing against, but Monty Tao threw a lob, and you went up and hit your head on the backboard. I don't mean to laugh at it, but you hit your head on the backboard, fell down, had a concussion, everything else, and that was one of the scariest moments ever. But in full disclosure, that next day we all went outside trying to see how high we can jump and see if we could hit our head up against the backboard. That's how high he was jumping.
Yeah, that was pretty scary to get up that high and then come down not knowing what's going to happen. But it didn't really affect my play. The following game, we played UCLA in the Final Four, and I had a pretty good game that game. So.
Did y'all upset UCLA that game?
Yeah, we did. They had won 7 consecutive national titles.
How many?
7.
And y'all beat them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we finally took them down. They beat us earlier in the season. My sophomore and junior year, we only lost 2 games, and one of them was to UCLA.
Now, when we watch these highlights, we marvel at the athleticism that players have today, and we forget, just how athletic you were, Dr. J, so forth and so on. So, I just like to remind the younger generation that there's no new things that are happening today. It's all a recreation of what was happening before. They may be doing it with more lights and more social media, but you guys were doing it back then, and we thank you for the example that you've set, the things that you've done and the man that you are. And we won't call you the Jordan maker, but we'll say you set the bar for Jordan to be. So thank you.
I really appreciate that.